If you've clicked on this video, you probably want to know how to move from entry-level to C-suite in 2025. Of course, there are a number of things that you could do to reach this goal, but in my experience as a leadership coach, there are specific steps that are very common to people who have reached a C-suite level in their career. That's what I'm going to share with you in this video. First, in order to get to any destination, you need to be clear on where you want to go. What is that destination? What is the career goal that you want to achieve? This can be difficult for people to get clarity on, especially if you've just started in your career and you don't really know what positions there are in senior leadership or in the C-suite. That's where research comes into play. So if you don't have specific roles in mind, then you need to spend some time researching to find out and to identify what are the roles that exist in your company or in your industry at the level that you are looking for. You can look for roles that align with your current position. So if you are a marketing assistant currently, you might look for roles that are more senior to that and identify in the C-suite, there is the Chief Marketing Officer. You can also look for roles that align with your interests and passion. So sometimes people don't start out in their ideal role, in a role that's perfectly aligned with their future goals. They might take the position because they need the job, they need the money, or they just want a foot in the door. In that situation, you'll need to identify what your true interest or what your true passion is and find roles that align with that. Then when you've identified that end goal, you then need to look at the path that will take you toward that end goal, because you can't just jump from entry level to C-suite immediately. This transition, it takes time, it takes energy, it takes experience, and it takes growth as well. So think about the roles that you would need to secure in order to grow toward that senior leadership position that you want. Once you're clear on the end destination and once you're clear on all of the roles in between, then it is much easier for you to identify the skills that you need to develop so that you are competent and qualified for that senior leadership role. And here, I want you to think about both technical and soft skills because both of them are really important. Years ago, you could reach the C-suite based solely on your technical skills, but nowadays there's a huge emphasis on your soft skills as well, on things like your social skills, on your emotional intelligence, and on your communication skills too. These are things that you can no longer ignore, just like what the author of this article wrote. Obviously, technical skills would be specific to the role that you're aiming for. So for someone aiming for a CFO position, you would need skills in budgeting, in planning, in risk mitigation as well. But these skills you would absolutely be developing on your way up to getting the CFO role. But on top of these technical skills, you will also need soft skills like good communication skills so you can articulate the why behind your financial decisions and get buy-in from other leaders. Decision-making skills so that you can make the hard calls when you need to. Emotional intelligence so that you can read the room and you can gauge how other people are feeling about your suggestions. The thing with soft skills is that for people in C-suite positions, they don't differ that much. All of those skills are really important, communication skills, emotional intelligence, even social skills. So if you want to learn a broad range of soft skills that are important for a C-suite leaders to have, then I recommend you check out this video up here. Save it to your watch later list and watch it once you've finished this one. So it's really the technical skills that differ when you are looking at the skills that are required for the different roles at the C-suite level. Now, for you to understand what these technical skills are, this depends on the role that you're going for. So obviously you will need to research this. You will need to come up with your own list of technical skills that are important for the role that you want to achieve. I would even recommend starting a spreadsheet where you can record the roles that you are aiming towards. This is what we talked about in point 1. And then the skills that are important for each of those roles. That's what we're talking about in this point. So I would create a spreadsheet that will allow you to record all of this information. That way it is much easier for you to track and it's much easier for you to follow along and see if you're achieving the goals that you want. Cross-functional experience really is the key ingredient to being successful in the C-suite. This means gaining knowledge and getting experience across different departments in your company, departments that you've probably never been exposed to before. Aran Nayar, who was the CFO of global operations at PepsiCo, realized that to rise higher, he would need to supplement his financial expertise employees with operational know-how. To get that experience, he persuaded the company's leaders to give him a lateral role overseeing finance in the global operations division, an area he knew nothing about. This is how he gained his cross-functional experience, and this was a really smart move because it allowed him to get a broad understanding of how the company works. And this bird's eye view is critical for C-suite leaders because you have to weigh in on decisions that are being made in a variety of departments and decisions that will have consequences on a variety of departments as well. So you really need this bird's eye view to understand the variables that are at play here and to make your own suggestions, to make good suggestions, and to basically know what you are talking about. For example, without knowledge of the marketing department, a CFO wouldn't know whether to support or to not support the idea of an expensive TV marketing advertising campaign. They wouldn't know whether it would be worth the money. And a big part of making good decisions across departments is to build relationships with people in those departments. So this could be with people at the senior leadership level, it could be mid-management level, or it could be the employees themselves. Because these relationships that you develop and the conversations that you have with people in those departments and at the different levels, it really allows you to drill down and to understand clearly what is going on in that department and what is going on at that level in that department as well. What are the challenges they face? What are the achievements they've made? What are areas for improvement? This type of information is essential for C-suite leaders to have, but you don't have to wait until you're in the C-suite to form these relationships or to make these connections. You can do this right now, even as an entry-level employee. Start to reach out to people in different departments and get to know them, because this can help you to gain a better understanding of the company as a whole, which you can talk about in performance reviews for extra points. Develop connections for future promotions. If you want to switch departments, then this is something that will help you do that. It can also help you expand your reputation in the company, particularly if you offer your help and your suggestions to people in other departments. So start sharpening your people skills so you can develop relationships with people in other departments. Now, your knowledge building doesn't stop at the role level, at the department level, or at the company level either. It extends beyond that to the industry level. This is extending your knowledge base to the extreme, but this extreme is essential if you even want to be considered for a C-suite level position. Industry-wide knowledge is where you learn about the industry that your company operates in. For example, if you work for an aviation company, you should learn about the aviation industry. If you work for a bank, you should learn about the banking and finance industry. Specifically, the type of knowledge that you want to develop here is, who are the major players in that industry? Who is your competition? What are the challenges the industry faces? What are the future developments this industry will undertake? What are the success stories in your industry? You can even take it one step further and learn about your industry in other countries. You can go further again by learning about related or learning about competing industries, because this extensive knowledge building will give you an even broader view and unique insight that many other C-suite candidates will not have. Now, once you've done all of this research and knowledge building, it's time for you to showcase your skills and your knowledge to other people in the company, because there's no use of you keeping all of this to yourself if nobody knows how competent, how intelligent, and how business savvy you are. You will never be promoted into the C-suite. And this is a real shame, because you could lose out on a well-paying, prestigious position that you deserve and that you're totally capable of doing to someone who is half as competent as you are, just because you don't know how to or you don't want to showcase your extraordinary ability. I know you didn't do all of this hard work in your career to go unnoticed. I know you didn't click on this video because you want to remain hidden in the background. So here are some suggestions as to how you can go about showcasing your extraordinary ability. If you help people out in other departments, make sure you let your boss know and you let their boss know about it too. Share industry knowledge with your boss and with your colleagues in meetings, or offer to create a lunch and learn for them. Be public about the relationships you build with people in other departments. Let everyone know about who you know and who knows you. Ask to oversee a project so you can demonstrate your delegation skill and your team leadership skills as well. Actively try to solve problems to demonstrate your critical thinking and your problem-solving ability. And you don't want to demonstrate these skills to just anybody. You specifically want people who matter to see and to know that you've developed skills to take you into the C-suite. This means you're a boss, your boss's boss, and other senior leaders in your company. If you don't have relationships with these people yet, that's totally okay. Just start being visible about the work that you do and about how you're helping the company. And if you do this with every position that you have up until the C-suite level, you will definitely start to become more visible to those people who matter. Eventually and over time, your reputation will grow, people will start to learn who you are and what you're capable of, and they'll start to want someone like you in senior leadership roles. Now, one skill set that you can absolutely start to improve on right now that will definitely help you for the C-suite are your communication skills, which you will learn about in this video up here. If you've enjoyed this video, then consider subscribing to my weekly newsletter where I share more leadership tips. And if you've become a channel member recently, thank you so much for your support. I am grateful to have you with us in the membership. And for the rest of you, until next time, thank you so much for watching. I will see you next week in another video.